I planned on getting this video up before I went on vacation, but I didn't, and then I went on vacation, and I bought 3 more books. So today I bring you a ridiculously large book haul because I obviously have no restraint when it comes to book buying, as you may be able to see in a few minutes. I went to Books-A-Million when I was on vacation with my friend, and you cannot go into Books-A-Million and not buy a book because everything there is so ridiculously cheap. It's incredible. This beauty right here, Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, I got for only $5.97. Oh my gosh, it's a hardcover. Hardcovers like this are like $18 in a store, and this was $6. I could not buy it. I mean, the sequel was $6 as well, but I didn't know if I was going to like this. I probably will because I've heard wonderful things about it, but I just wanted to stick to buying this one for now. Honestly, I can't tell you the synopsis of this because it's really confusing, and everyone who reviews this can't even really make a synopsis for it because it's just that confusing. Let's see how it looks without the cover. Ooh, black, like my soul. Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and I don't exactly remember how much this was, but I think it was like $3.97 or $5.97. It was cheap. It was cheap for a paperback. I am crazily excited for this because it's a high fantasy, and I have not read a high fantasy ever. I think it's been raved about everywhere. Oh, there's bonus content inside. It's been raved about everywhere. I think it has to do with Russian history, but it's not set in Russia. It's set in some weird place. There are things called Grishas, and they have abilities, and there's the Darkling, and our main character can control light or something, and I think it sounds exciting and awesome, and I cannot wait to read this. The last book I got at Books-A-Million was Unearthly by Cynthia Hand, and honestly, this is not normally the type of book I do read. I think it's about fallen angels, but there's a little snippet from the book on the back, and the writing style seems really interesting. I looked it up on Goodreads, and this has a 4.18 rating, and I could not pass it up. Also, I'm gonna meet, ooh, it's silvery. Also, I'm gonna meet Cynthia Hand in May, and so I figured I should read this book to get it signed. Note, all of these books have over 4-star ratings on Goodreads, and so I couldn't pass it up. This first box is from Barnes & Noble. I've been ordering a lot of boxes of books from Barnes & Noble lately because if you buy books from the website on Barnes & Noble, they are a considerable amount cheaper than actually being in the store. The book I think is in here actually costs full price that it would in a store, but it isn't in my store near me, so I had to buy it because I really wanted it.
I have scissors, but I don't think scissors are gonna, oh, it's a pull tab! Oh, geez. These pull tabs never work. Why do they never work? Alrighty then, yeah, boxes.
Oh, well, I have a $100 wine voucher, but I am not old enough to drink alcohol. Receipt, fabulous. Hunger paper. I've never gotten this many papers. This is the book that was not available in my store because for some reason it wasn't there. I'm actually going to meet Susan Dennard in May, so I'm quite excited about that. I believe this is the first book. I always have difficulty telling the difference between the first and second book in this series because it's Something Strange and Deadly and then something. This is actually set in the 1800s, the late 1800s, like Clockwork Princess is, and I'm just in love with this cover. I usually can't stand face covers, but the dress on this is insane. It totally reminds me of Clockwork Princess, and I'm obsessed with the Clockwork covers. And it's about a girl whose brother goes missing. She enlists the help of the spirit hunters because suddenly there are zombies in Philadelphia in the 1870s, and it just sounds crazy awesome. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I'm obsessed with historical fantasies. So we got the historical fantasy here. I'm super excited to read this. Next we have a literal box, so I'm probably gonna have to take some scissors to this. It's 3 pounds. Jeez.
Let's hope that makes it a little bit easier. There's no convenient pull tab on this one. I think we got it. Open sesame.
First in here we have Nil by Lynn Matson. I am so excited to read this book, like you don't even understand. I read the synopsis of this and fell in love with it. It's set on this island and you basically have a year to get out, and if you don't, you die. It kind of reminded me of Lord of the Flies a bit because they get stuck on the island. Even though I haven't read Lord of the Flies, I'm about to for school, so that should be interesting to see comparisons between these. The first time I read the summary of this out loud, I read it to my mom and she goes, "Oh, so it's like the Hunger Games."
Not everything is like the Hunger Games. Let me just tell you, it's frustrating when the entire world thinks just because a book involves a bunch of teenagers, it's a Hunger Games book. This is not the Hunger Games. This is nowhere remotely near the Hunger Games. They don't fight each other to the death.
And last in this box, I have Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the first book in the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This I also had to order off the website because it was not available anywhere near me at a Barnes & Noble, and every single one of her books have over 4-star ratings. So I am really excited about this. I think it's about a girl who moves to a place and she's just upset to be moving, and she's also a book blogger, and then she falls in love with an alien. I love my sci-fi, and this is sci-fi. I'm also a book blogger, so why would you not? Now I'm going to show you the books I was either given, sent, or won from a giveaway. Fury by Elizabeth Miles. I actually won this a very long time ago from Paper Lantern Lit, I believe, and I did not haul it for some strange reason. I really have no idea what this is about. All I know is it's about revenge. Does anyone else think that this girl looks like Chloe Grace Moretz? It kind of does. From far away, if you're looking like back there, I think it does, but I really don't like face covers, and no face cover. Altered by Jennifer Albin. I won this from Macmillan Teen, I believe, on Twitter. And this is actually the second book in the something series by Jennifer Albin. The first book is Cruel by Jennifer Albin, and actually on the inside it is signed by Jennifer Albin, but that's like a sticker, and I'm gonna meet Jennifer Albin in May, so I'm gonna casually just go up to her and, "Hey, I have a book that was signed by you already, but can you sign it again?" Yay. Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. Once again, really don't know what this is about, but I won this from Penguin on Twitter. As you may be able to tell, if there's a giveaway on Twitter for a book, I'm gonna be entering it. I'm not sure if this is new adult or young adult, but I honestly can't even tell anything from the cover because it just says Me Before You. I like simplistic covers usually, but there is literally nothing on this, but it's touchy-feely. Ooh. Ooh. Crown of Embers by Ray Carson, and this is the second book in the Girl of Fire and Thorns trilogy. Once again, I have not read the first book. I believe this is about fae and other things like that. I know it's a fantasy, and I'm going to meet Ray Carson as well, so I'm gonna get this signed and just be like, "Hey, I haven't read it yet, but sign it." Earthmen Jack versus the Ghost Planet by Matthew Kaddish. I was actually sent this for review, which is the coolest thing ever because that hasn't happened to me yet. I was actually contacted by the author's publicist, and they asked me to review this book. Once I finish this monster of a book, I am going to be putting up a video review as well as a review on Fandom Monthly, most likely. It's huge. This is one of the biggest books I own now. It's 666 pages, I think, and oh, that's a scary number. I really do like reading big books though. It's been described as a mix between Harry Potter and Star Wars, so I am really interested to see what that even means. Cinder by Marissa Meyer. If you watched my last haul, you know I have it in ebook form on my tablet, but Gabby recently bought the entire Lunar Chronicles series in hardcover, and so she decided to give me Cinder by Marissa Meyer in paperback. I'm so excited to have this in physical form because this has been getting so much hype all over BookTube, and I've heard that it's incredible, and the series just gets better as it goes along, and so I'm excited to read this here in this beautiful cover form because I didn't even have the real cover on my tablet for some reason. It just showed up as like this white thing that says Book 1, Lunar Chronicles Cinder. So now I have the really awesome cover with the bionic leg on it. If you don't know, this is a retelling of Cinderella, hence the title, Cinder. As it goes on, it's Scarlet, Red Riding Hood, Cress, which is Rapunzel, and then there's Winter, which I believe is going to be Snow White, and I am so excited to read this book. I'm actually planning on reading it with Gabby soon, so that should be exciting. Now I'm going to be moving on to the books I bought for myself recently. If I Stay by Gail Forman. I literally do not know why I have not hauled this yet because I bought this in December, after I got all my gift cards from Christmas and my birthday. If I Stay is being made into a movie, and just the other day the trailer came out, and let me tell you, I watched it and I started crying halfway through the trailer because it did that to me. This book is about a girl named Mia who gets into a car crash and she has to decide whether or not to stay or go to heaven with her parents because she's actually become an orphan after this car crash, but the reasons for her to stay would be her loving friends and other family members and her boyfriend Adam, and I'm just so excited to see how well this translates to film because it's just such a good book, and I cried and I gave it 4 stars out of 5 because it was just, oh. Then I read the synopsis of the second book and I wanted to throw it across the room because I was like, that's just, it's not. The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan, and I actually also bought this with If I Stay. So once again, don't know why I haven't hauled it yet. This, I believe, is about zombies. I think it's dystopian or fantasy. Sometimes I can't tell the difference. Blood and creepy things on the cover, so we'll see what this is about. I'm also meeting Carrie Ryan in May, so I'm hoping to like it and get it signed by her. Graceling by Kristen Cashore. This is actually a fantasy in which people have one blue eye and one regular colored eye. It means you have a grace. The main character's grace in this book is killing, and so I believe the prince or the king decides to make her his personal assassin. I've heard it's a really great book. It looks really interesting, so I'm very excited to read this as well. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is actually about a girl who is a profilist. I love this cover because it's the present wrapped in the caution tape. I think they have to catch a serial killer. This is actually my brother's book, but we share books. I'm getting this signed for him by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, so I'm gonna book haul this. I'm gonna haul it, I'm hauling it. It's very short, actually. I think I'm going to be reading it very soon so I can review it very soon. The way they talk about her being a profilist and being able to put little things about people together, it very much so reminded me of BBC's Sherlock. And if you haven't watched BBC's Sherlock yet, my friend, you should go watch. You have about 2 years until the next season. It's on Netflix and Hulu. Go do it. Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I'm going to meet Stephanie Perkins in May, which is crazy exciting. I already read this book actually, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I'm not the biggest fan of contemporary, but this made me love it. I loved this book so much. The characters in this were just delightful. This is about a girl named Anna who goes off to a boarding school in Paris because her dad decides she needs some culture in her life. Despite everything being great back home, she ends up getting shipped off and thinks she's going to hate it, but then there she meets St. Clair, who is a British American who happens to also speak French. So you can see where that story leads. I actually don't have this book with me, but I recently bought Panic by Lauren Oliver for the Booksplosion Book of the Month read-along. That was about a bunch of kids who participate in this illegal game called Panic every summer to win money. Honestly, it was not my favorite book. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and it's kind of deterred me from reading the rest of Lauren Oliver's books. The last book is Side Effects May Vary by Julie Murphy. I actually bought this for the Side Effects read-along. This is actually about a girl named Alice who had cancer and has this crazy bucket list of things she wants to do that go from anywhere from doing something nice for a neighbor to completely ruining someone's life. And then she realizes she's in remission. She has to deal with everyone she's wronged, and I actually just finished this and I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I'm actually going to be doing a full-length review on this book. That makes for a total of 19 books at this haul. That's quite large. I feel like my book buying has just grown exponentially since I made my booktube channel. And you know what? I ain't even mad. I'm Maddie. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to go ask us questions for our Q&A video. I will link the Q&A announcement video down below so you can ask us questions. Just comment down below on that video. Don't forget to check out our Instagram at 2bookteens, our Twitter at 2bookteens with 2 S's, my Goodreads, MaddieKins121. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye. Now I'm going to attempt to do a thumbnail picture. Whew, this is a lot of books to stack.
Stop. Put it there. Y'all, they should give awards to people like Christine from Fun Bananas Books and Kat from Catty-tastic, because how do they do this? How? Thumbnail pictures? If only Obsidian and Nil were 2 pounds, this must be like 20 pounds worth of books. That's insane. I'm lifting weights, guys. I'm working out. Whoa, that wasn't safe at all.
Side effects may vary by Julie Murphy. That could have been bad. As you may be able to tell, my book jacket's a little rumpled. I don't even know why.